Hello and welcome to my walkthrough of the OCR GCSE Mathematics May 2023 Paper 1 Foundation Tier. Let's get straight into it. Question number 1. Here is a list of numbers. From this list, write down an even number. So we just have to find any number in this list divisible by 2. That would be your 8, 26 or 114. So we're going to go for 8. Part B, a square number. So a square number is going to be a number that is another number squared. So that is just going to be either 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64. I'll stop there because I've spotted that 49 is in the list. And part C, a factor of 57. So factors of 57 are going to be 3, and 3 multiplied by 19 gives you 57, and we have 19 in the list. That will be our answer. Question number 2. Kai has 4 differently numbered cards. The range of the numbers is 14, the median of the numbers is 9, all the numbers are prime numbers, the lowest number is 5. Work out the numbers on the cards. Write the numbers in order of size. So, it's quite a good question. We know that the range is 14, and we know 5 is the smallest. So, range 14, 5 smallest. Therefore, 19 must be the largest, as the range is just the gap between the smallest and the largest number. So we're going to put 19 in here straight away. So, next we'll look at the median of the numbers is 9. So the median is going to fall between the second and the third number. So if we call them A and B, we're going to say A plus B divided by 2 to find the midpoint of them is 9. And then we also know that they are prime numbers. So prime numbers between 5 and 19 would be 7, 11, 13, 17. So I'm just going to change this equation here to multiply both sides by 2, just so we can see that A plus B equals 18, meaning that we need to add up 2 of these numbers to get to 18. The only one that works with is 7 and 11. So our answers are going to be 5, 7, 11, and 19. Question number 3. Here are the first 4 terms of a sequence. Write down the next term of the sequence. Well, as you can see here, 5 to 12 is an addition of 7. 12 to 19 is an addition of 7. 19 to 26 is an addition of 7, which means we are looking for an addition of 7. 26 plus 7 is just 33. Explain how you worked out your answer, adding 7 to the term before. Question number 4. A fair 6-sided dice numbered 1 to 6 is rolled. The diagram shows a probability scale. Which arrow shows the probability that the dice lands on 5? We know it's a fair dice, so the probability of it landing on 5 would be 1 over 6. So if we look at the scale, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections, meaning that each one is going to be 1/6 worth, so that's 1/6, that's 2/6, that's 3/6, etc. So B is going to represent 5 because that is 1/6. The probability that the dice lands on 7, however, is going to be 0 because the dice only has 6 sides. So that's going to be A on our line. Part C, lands on a number greater than 2, so that would just be 3, 4, 5, or 6, which is 4 out of 6. We'll go back to our line. That would then be E. And we'll move on. Question number 5. Write 0.17 as a fraction. Now 0.17 is the equivalent of saying 17 out of 100. Part B. Write 0.04 as a percentage. So to go from a decimal to a percentage, all we need to do is multiply it by 100. So 0.04 multiplied by 100 is just 4. So our answer is 4%. Part C. Write 7/8 as a decimal. So for this one, all we need to do is type in 7/8 on our calculator, 7 divided by 8, and we get 0.875. Question number 6. Here is a function. Input multiplied by 4 plus 7 gives us the output. Find the input when the output number is 87. So all we need to do here is work backwards. So we're going to say 87 minus 7 gives you 80. 80 divided by 4 gives you 20, which will have been our input. Part B. The input is x and the output is y. Write an equation for y in terms of x. So we're going to say y equals 4 lots of x plus 7, as we've got times 4 and add 7. Question number 7. Work out 3 to the power 5. Now we have a calculator, but I'll do it separately just for completeness. So that would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27, times 3 again is 81, times 3 again is 243. And I will just check that on my calculator. 3 to the power 5, 243. Part II, slightly more complicated to do in my head. The cube root of 2,744. So I'm going to do that on my calculator. 2,744. It's just 14. And part B, find the value of y, where 384 equals 6 times 4 to the power y. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do 384 divided by 6 is going to be the same as 4y, so we all 4 to the power y. All we've done there is divided both sides by 6. I'll do that on my calculator. 384 divided 6 is 64. So we need to know what is y when 4 to the power y equals 64. So that would just be 4 times 4 times 4 is 64, as 4 4s are 16, and 16 times 4 is 64, which means 4 to the power 3 is 64. So our answer for y is 3. And part C, write 3 to the power -1 as a fraction. So by definition, negative powers are just 1 over the number to the positive power. So that would just be 1 over 3 to the power 1, which is just 1 over 3. Question number 8. 450 grams of flour costs £1.44. Work out the cost of 1 kilogram of this flour. So what I'm going to do here is work out 1 gram of the flour and then times it by 1,000. So 1.44 is 450 grams. Therefore, 1 gram is going to be £1.44 divided by 450. Do that on my calculator, which gives us 0.32 pence. Then, like I said, we need to then times it by 1,000. So 1 kilogram equals 1,000 times 0.32p. 320 pence, which is the same as £3.20. Question number 9. A farmer keeps sheep in a rectangular field measuring 120 meters by 180 meters. The farmer can keep up to 20 sheep per hectare in the field. 1 hectare is 10,000 square meters. Work out the number of sheep the farmer can keep in the field. So, to work out your square meters, all you need to do is 120 multiplied by 180. On my calculator, that is 21,600 meters squared is area of field. Now, if 10,000 meters is 1 hectare, we have therefore 2.16 hectares is 21,600 meters squared. And if a farmer can keep up to 20 sheep per hectare, what we're going to need to do is 2.16 multiplied by 20. 2.16 multiplied by 20 in my calculator is 43.2. You can't have 0.2 of a sheep, so our answer is going to be 43 sheep. Question 10. Finley is asked to solve the equation 5x plus 4 equals 19. Finley's working is shown below. Write down the error that Finley has made. Well, what he's done, Finley has added 4 to the right-hand side in the second line, but taken away 4 on the left-hand side. Part B. Charlie is asked to use the formula v equals u plus at to find the initial velocity. When the acceleration is 5, the final velocity is 29, and the time is 3 seconds. Charlie's working is shown below. Write down the error that Charlie has made. He has put the wrong figure in, so v is final velocity. U is initial velocity. Charlie has put U as the final velocity. On to question 11. Cookies are made using these ingredients. How many eggs are needed to make 48 cookies? So our ingredients are for 24 cookies. All we need to do is multiply everything by 2. So 2 eggs multiplied by 2 is going to be 4. Part B. How much sugar is needed to make 6 cookies? So in this case, we need to then divide by 4 to get from 24 down. So we're going to say 360 grams divided by 4, which is just 90 grams of sugar. Part C. Ashley has 520 grams of cranberry and plenty of other ingredients. Ashley thinks this is enough to make at least 80 cookies. Is she correct? Show working to support your answer. So she needs 170 grams for 24 cookies. So she needs 170 grams for 24 cookies. 80 divided by 24 on my calculator is 3.3 recurring. Therefore, she needs 170 times 3.3 recurring, which is 566.6 recurring grams of cranberries for 80 cookies. So that tells me she does not have enough. So we're going to put no, because she needs 567 grams of cranberries for 80 cookies. Part D. Darcy makes 100 cookies. They are put into packets, each holding 6 cookies. Each packet of 6 cookies is sold for £1.35. Darcy sells all of these packets. How much money did Darcy receive? So we're going to need to do 100 divided by 6 to work out how many packets. So she had 16.6 recurring, and that means she had 16 full packets and 4 left over. So each packet is sold for £1.35. 16 times £1.35 is going to be our answer. She made £21.60. Question 12. Work out the surface area of the cuboid. So we essentially have 6 faces of this cuboid. So we're going to have one face is going to be 6 multiplied by 5. That will be the back. That will also be the front. So I'll just write here back and front. And then we will have the base, which is going to be 6 times 4, as well as the top. They will be the same. So I'm going to put base and top. And then the two sides are going to be 4 times 5 times 2. For the sides, that's going to be 30 times 2 plus 24 times 2 plus 20 times 2, which is just 60 plus 48 plus 40. So our answer is 148 centimeters squared. Question number 13. Kareem runs 2,460 meters in 8 minutes. Calculate his average speed in meters per minute. So all we need to do here, since the units are already meters per minute, is just do 2,460 divided by 8. I'll do that on my calculator. And our answer is 307.5 meters per minute. Kareem says, this means I can run 6,150 meters in 20 minutes. Write down one assumption Kareem has made. Well, he has assumed he can keep that pace up. He has assumed his pace will stay consistent over a longer period. Question 14. Show the inequality x is greater than -2 on this number line. So all we're going to need to do here is an open circle, as it's not greater than or equal to, and we want it to go up this way as it's increasing, greater than -2. Question number 15. Finley has 72 sweets. Finley gives 25% of the sweets to Alex, 1/6 of the sweets to Umi. Show that Finley has 7/12 of the sweets left. So 25% of 72 is going to be the same as 72 divided by 4, which is going to be 18. 1/6 of 72 is going to be 72 divided by 6, which is 12. Therefore, 30 out of 72 sweets gone, which is the same as 15 out of 36, which is the same as 5 out of 12. Therefore, 1 minus 5 out of 12 sweets left, and that is 7 out of 12 as required. Question number 16. The diagram shows a quadrilateral and an equilateral triangle. The perimeter of the quadrilateral is equal to the perimeter of the equilateral triangle. Find an expression for the length of one side of the equilateral triangle. Give your answer in terms of x in its simplest form. So we know the perimeter of the quadrilateral, so we're going to write perimeter equals 5x plus 4 plus x plus 2 plus 9x minus 5 plus 6x plus 8. So all I've done there is added the four side lengths together. And that will come to, we'll put all the x's together, that will be 21x. And all the numbers together, that will be 6, 1 plus 8 is 9. Now we know it's an equilateral triangle, so all sides are the same length. So we will say, therefore, equilateral is going to be 21x plus 9 divided by 3 as sides same length, which is going to give us 21 divided by 3 is 7x, 9 divided by 3 is 3, so our answer is 7x plus 3. And we can't write it any simpler than that, as 7 and 3 are both prime. Question 17. Multiply out and simplify 3x plus y, lots of x plus 2y. So we have to do 3x multiplied by x first, so 3x squared. 3x multiplied by 2y is just going to be 6xy. Y multiplied by x is going to be yx. And y multiplied by 2y is going to be 2y squared. So all I've done there is this one times this one, this one times this one, this one times this one, and this one times this one. So xy and yx are the same thing. So we can just say this is 3x squared plus 7xy plus 2y squared. And that is as simple as we can get it, as 3, 7, and 2 are all prime. Question 18. Triangle T is drawn on a coordinate grid. Triangle A is translated by 6, 3 to give triangle T. Draw and label triangle A on the grid. So we essentially have to do the translation backwards. So we know triangle A has gone 6 to the right because x has increased, and it has gone minus 3, so it has gone down. So we need to go up by 3 and left by 6. So what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be the tip. The shape will be the same, size and orientation, just like that. Part B. Triangle T is rotated through 90 degrees anti-clockwise about 0, 0 to give triangle B. Draw and label triangle B on the grid. So it's rotating through 0, 0 and it's anti-clockwise. So I'm going to move 1 point at a time. So this 1, 1 through 0, 0 is going to appear over here. This point here is going to appear over here. And this point here is going to appear over here, just like this. The trick I use when I am rotating through the origin is I use the coordinates. So we know this is point 1, 1 here, this one. So the numbers stay the same, just with negative signs on them. Once you work out the direction you're rotating, when we were told anti-clockwise, we know it's going to appear in that quadrant in the anti-clockwise direction. So all I've done is taken 1, 1 to minus 1, 1, 3, 1 to minus 1, 3, and 2, 3 to minus 3, 2. Part C. Triangle T is reflected in the line y equals minus 1 to give triangle C. Draw and label triangle C on the grid. So y equals minus 1 is just this line here. so it is mirrored. So it's going to be 2 squares down, 1, 2, and just here, and just here. It's a very poorly drawn triangle, but you get the idea. And that should be that. Question 19. Calculate 5.2 squared minus 4.8 times minus 6.3, all square rooted. So I'm going to do this on my calculator, but I'll do it in steps. So what I'm going to do is the 5.2 squared first, and that is 27.04. I'll leave the 4.8 where it was, and the times minus 6.3, like that. Next, I'm going to do the minus 6.3 times the minus 4.8. Basically, the square root symbol, everything inside it, we need to treat it as if it's in a bracket. So minus 4.8 times minus 6.3 is just going to be 30.24. So our equation becomes 27.04 plus, because we times the minus by a minus, 30.24. Now we can add them together. Still not doing the square root just yet. And we get the square root of 57.28. Now I'll do that on my calculator, the square root of 57.28. I get 7.568355. The question wants us to give the answer in 3 significant figures, so that is going to be the 7.573 figures. Question 20. The price of petrol decreases from £1.32 per litre to £1.02 per litre. Calculate the percentage decrease in the price. So to work this out, all we need to do is 1.32 minus 1.02, which is 0.3. Then we need to do 0.3 divided by 1.32 multiplied by 100 to work out the percentage. So that's going to be 0.3 divided by 1.32 on my calculator times by 100. We get 22.72 recurring percent. And I'm just going to go for 22.7. Question 21. Trams to the airport leave every 50 minutes. Trams to the beach leave every 35 minutes. A tram to the airport and a tram to the beach leave together at 9:30. When is the next time that 2 of these trams leave together? I think the best way to do this question is just going to be brute force. So I'm going to say airport, beach, and we're going to say 9:30, 9:30, and we're just going to add the times together until we hit a time where they both go again. So every 50 minutes for the airport, so 10:20, 11:10, 12 o'clock, 12:50, 13:40, 14:30. We'll stop there for now and we'll see if we've done it. So 35 minutes is 10:05, 10:40, 11:15, 11:50, 12:25, 1 o'clock. So we still haven't done it then, so we'll continue. I'll just say A, B again. So 14:30 takes us through to 15:20, 16:10, 17 o'clock. Do the next one, 13:35. 35 minutes onto that is 14:10, then 14:45, then 15:20. There we go. So by brute force, we've managed to find it. So 15:20, which is the same as 3:20 p.m. Question 22. Hero and Taylor are both electricians. Hero does not charge to visit a house, but charges a fixed rate per hour for the work needed. This graph shows the relationship between the hours worked and the total charge made by Hero. Explain how this graph shows that Hero's total charge is directly proportional to the hours worked. It is a straight line passing through the origin. Part B. Taylor does charge to visit a house and charges the same fixed rate per hour as Hero for the work needed. On the axis above, draw a graph to show the relationship between the hours worked and the total charge made by Taylor. So it's going to be parallel to Hero's line. It is just going to start higher up. So you would have a ruler for this. I do not have a ruler for this. You've just got to make sure it's parallel. We don't know what the fixed charge is, so I've just put it some way up the y-axis. That's all you need to do. Question 23. Eve, Jack, and Ling share some money in the ratio 2-3-4. Jack gets £720. Work out how much money Ling gets. So, with a ratio, if you add up everything in the ratio, that comes to 9. We can stick that on the bottom of a denominator, at the bottom of a fraction as the denominator, and we can say that we have this relationship between the numbers, 2 ninths, 3 ninths, and 4 ninths. So that's Eve, Jack, and Ling. So Jack gets £720, so £720 is going to equal 3 ninths. Therefore, 9 ninths is going to be 720 times 9 divided by 3, 2,160. Ling is 4 ninths, therefore Ling is 4 ninths of 2,160, which is just £960. Part B. Amir, Beth, and Casey share some money in the ratio 3-5 to C. Casey's share is 2/3 of the total. Find the value of C. So, similarly to what I just said, we'll add up these 3 to become the denominator of the fraction. So it's going to be 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8 plus C is the denominator. And that's going to be 3, 5, and C plus C, 8 plus C. And we know that Casey's share is 2/3 of the total. So we know that 2 over 3 is equivalent to C over 8 plus C. I'm going to multiply both sides by 8 plus C. So I'm going to get 2 lots of 8 plus C equals over 3 equals C. Multiply both sides by 3 as well. So we're going to have 2 lots of 8 plus C equals 3C. Expand out the brackets. 16 plus 2C equals 3C. Take 2C off both sides. 16 equals C. Question 24. The probability that Sam works from home on Monday is 0.4. The probability that Sam works from home on Friday is 0.2. Complete the tree diagram. So we're saying Sam works from home Friday is 0.2, so all I need to do here is put 0.2 in each of the work from home bits, and they should always add up to 1. So we need to put 0.6 in here, 0.8 in here, and 0.8 in here. Part B. Work out the probability that Sam works from home on Monday, but she does not work from home on Friday. So, yes on Monday, not on Friday. So we're going to go this way and then this way. It's going to be 0.4 multiplied by 0.8, which is just 0.32. Question 25. A 6-sided numbered spinner is thrown 50 times. The score for each throw is recorded. Some of the results are shown in the table. An 8 was thrown F times. An unknown number on the spinner is represented by N. The mean score of the 50 throws is 5.5. Find the value of F and the value of N. So, we know the mean is 5.5, so we're going to say total divided by 50 equals 5.5. Therefore, the total is going to be 5.5 times 50, 275. And by total, I mean that will be the score multiplied by the frequency all added together. So, Therefore, 275 equals 1 times 12 plus 3 times 2 plus 5 times 9 plus 6 times 16 plus 8f plus 4n. For 275 equals 12 plus 6 plus 45 plus 96 plus 8f plus 4n. Therefore, 275 minus 12 minus 6 minus 45 and minus 96 gives us 116 equals 8f plus 4n. Now what we also know is that 12, oh, my pen's not working, 12 plus 2 plus 9 plus 16 plus f plus 4 equals 50. Therefore, f equals 50 minus 4 minus 16 minus 9 minus 2 minus 12, 7. So we'll go back to this again now, and we can say, therefore, 116 equals 8 times 7, which is 56, plus 4n, which means 60 equals 4n, which means n is 15, and we know f is 7. Question 26. Here is a table of values for y equals 6 over x minus 2x. Draw the graph of y equals 6 over x minus 2x, 4 minus 4 to 4, x not equal to 0, and it is inclusive. So, x is minus 4, which is here. Y is 6.5, which is going to be halfway up here. Minus 3, 4. Minus 2, 1. Minus 1, minus 4. 1, 4. 2 minus 1. 3 minus 4. And 4 minus 6.5. Now what we know here is that x never is 0. So the key here is to not let it touch the y-axis. So I'm going to draw my lines just like this and this, curving away from the y-axis to make it obvious that they're not going to touch. Use your graph to find the positive solution of 6 over x minus 2x equals 0. Give your answer to one decimal place. A positive solution, so it's going to be on the right-hand side of the graph. It's going to be when it crosses the x-axis just about here. So we'll say 1.65, as 1.5 would be here, and it looks about halfway between 1.6 and 1.7. Granted, my graph's not great, but it's based on whatever your graph reading is for that mark. And question 20, the final question on the paper, question 27. The diagram shows a circle inside a square of side 12 centimeters. Work out the percentage of the square that is shaded. You must show your working. So, area of square is going to be 12 times 12, 144. Area of circle is going to be pi r squared. It's going to be pi times the radius, which is going to be half the diameter, so pi times 6 squared, 36 pi. Therefore, area of shaded is going to be the area of the square minus the area of the circle divided by 4, as there's 4 of these sections. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 144 minus 36 pi divided by 4. That gives us 7.725666118. And we want the area, the percentage of the area that is shaded. So we want 7.725666118 divided by 144, which was the full shape, multiplied by 100, of course, for the percentages. And we get 5.365%. And I'll just call it 5.37%. I hope this walkthrough was helpful. Thank you very much for watching as always. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them below. And I will hopefully see you next time.